Hi, I'm Brandy. This is Hound Dog Hollow, and today we're going to be doing October Vlog Challenge Day 26. Scary. Very cute. Pardon me, very cute paper. It's a VR to Amethyst Ascension challenge by Palm Tree Bewitchery. And let me think. So, scary. Scary used to be, to me, as a little kid, you know, I was afraid of things that I thought would hurt me. I'm still afraid of those things, really. Those things are still scary. Monsters, aliens, being disciplined. Things like heights, claustrophobic, and there's all reasons for that. But those things are scary, right? And then, I used to be scared a lot of different things. And, I've always been an empath, and I've always had prophetic dreams, and I used to have sleep paralysis, and I've had paranormal experiences. There's been a lot. A lot of stuff that's been scary. But I will say that the real scary thing is not so much harm to yourself, but harm to the ones you love. And I think that, to me, is the thing that, terrifies me the most. The scary things is, something hurting my kid. Or my husband, or, even my doggies. Don't know. I mean, it's scary, the direction that our world is going in, and our government, and there's a lot of scary things out there, at least in my opinion. And of course, this whole channel is my opinion. So I'm not sorry for that. It reminds me of my very favorite quote, and it says, being deeply loved gives you strength, but loving someone deeply gives you courage. It's by Lao Tzu. And basically, it is the truest thing ever. Somebody loving you deeply really gives you strength, because they believe in you, because they love you, because you have that strength from them. You're getting that, I don't know how to explain it, but I can move mountains with my husband at my side. But loving someone deeply gives you courage. And that really applies to scary, because, for example, when I was a little kid, or even when I was younger, and I was having this paranormal situation that was with the dark mirror the first time, and it went on for weeks, and it was so effing scary, and I was just like, oh. And I mean, in retrospect, I probably just didn't understand what was happening, but also living in a dorm, there's a lot of negative energy, and there's a lot of tormented dead around. It's complicated, but there is a lot of residual where there's been lots of suffering or violence, or even just people, like hospitals and cemeteries and battlegrounds. And let me tell you, I've worked in hospitals, I've patrolled on battlegrounds with mass graves, and I've lived in dorms where lots of drama and violence has happened, and those things leave this residual. And for empaths and for sensitive people, you can feel it, and you can see it, and it acts out. So I wonder if the dark mirror thing was also part of the negative stuff that already existed in the building in the first place, because I had experiences aside from that with the building. And long story short, I was very scared. I didn't know what to do. In the present time, I've been thinking about that a lot, and at first it was very jarring, because it took me right back to that moment at 19, when I was alone and terrified, and didn't really have any spiritual people to ask questions, to rely on. And, I had my ancestors. They're with you always. And your spirit guides and your angels and whatever it is you believe in. But those benevolent beings that are there for you are always with you, whether you believe in them or not. And eventually everything got better. But as you may know, Dark Mirror has come back into my life. It's suggesting to me that it's time, because I got a ton of them all in 1 month. It was something else. And so I'm like, okay, universe, I hear you. And I got to thinking, like, okay, what? Am I afraid, or am I jarred, or whatever? And really, you're afraid, but also you're an older person, but also there is nothing that I wouldn't do to protect my kid. And nothing, no hooded man, no anything that could come through that would ever persuade me to be as afraid and paralyzed in fear as I was then, because I have to keep my kid safe, and my kid lives in this house. So I would do anything to protect him. And so things are not so scary anymore, because I don't have the luxury of being afraid. I have to act. I have to protect my family. I have to protect my kid. And it's not just spiritual things. It's also safety things. It's also societal things. I mean, there is nothing that makes me less afraid and feel more fierce than the thought that people are relying on me and I must be brave. And part of that is also your training. I went through extensive training to be a police officer, or the military's version of that. And there is a lot of psychological breakdown to build you up in a certain way that makes all of this second nature. And also, I was raised by somebody in that type of profession anyway. And so, if there was one thing that my mom can be counted on, it's like she was a ferocious tiger if you messed with one of her kids. And she could be counted on for a lot of things. I'm not trying to disparage my mom. I'm just saying, like, she was like fierce. And it was a great example for me, because I feel like nothing is scary if I have to do the right thing, if I must be fierce, if I must be brave, if I must do the right thing. It really falls back. And so while things may be scary, when you have that thing that you're desperate not to lose, when you have that, it puts adamantium in your backbone, and it gives you the courage to do what's right. Because I don't think that bravery is not being afraid. Bravery is, you can be totally afraid and you still do it because you must, because it's right, because it's the thing that's going to help you, that's going to help the one you love, or the things you love, whatever the case may be. And so scary, the only thing really, really scary right now is harm or danger to my kid or my husband or my family. That's the only thing that's really scary. There's like jump scares, and there's like horror movie scares, which are like psychologically damaging, I think, to a certain extent. If you're like a sensitive sissy lala like me. But there's also the temperance of, like, when you hold that little human in your arms and you're like, dude, I would kill for you. And I mean it. I would kill for you. I would die for you. But most importantly, I will live for you. I am going to do whatever it takes to make this happen and to keep us safe. And so what once was scary, not so scary anymore, because I can do this. Because, I have to. I got to. And I went on a weird direction, and I hope you guys can get what I'm saying. But just part of my journey growing up is not trying to live from that place of fear, but trying to live from that place of, I can do this. I'm a beacon. I can do this. And that's a better space to be in my opinion. Anyways, love you guys so much. This challenge has been something else. I have done 26 vlogs. There's 5 more. And I'm happy that I did it, but it has been a lot of work. Anyways, love you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to you soon.